Hello and welcome to another video for the Al and Jerry Football Podcast with me and my buddy Al.
What's up, guys? How you all doing? Blessed day to all of you.
Yep, blessed day. I think, wow, lots to get into, Al, in terms of the Premier League season. Wow, real
Mm.
blockbuster season this has been. I
What a
think,
season! All
yeah,
over.
what a
What a
season it's
season!
been, dude. I mean, in terms of even the relegation battle has got me, so
Very
like
interested.
interested. I mean, with the likes of Burnley, Everton, Leeds, and
Yeah.
yeah, so much going on there, and even the battle for top four between the red half and the white half of North London, and obviously City as well, looking like they're going to win the league. However, there was a little bit of a barrier in their way in terms of in
Mm.
the form of West Ham out,
The form of
and
some bubbles.
yeah, what City couldn't handle the bubbles, eh?
He couldn't handle the bubbles. Yep. Yep.
I mean, the last game, City and West Ham, I guess we'll do the reaction for the matches that have just happened this past week. Obviously, West Ham holding City to a 2-2 draw. It looked like West Ham could have come away with all 3 points. I think they would be feeling a bit hard done by to not come away with that 3 points. But Jared Bowen with two early goals in the first half. I think, sorry, one early goal and one late goal just before the half was about to
Mm.
end. And two goals that well taken. It just his positioning was good, and it sort of cut City's defense open, right? But
Yeah.
City responding in kind in the second half. Jack Grealish with a goal and Mahrez with a great free kick that
Mm.
led to an own goal. Mahrez could have finished the game, sealed the deal, got the 3 points, and won the title on that day. If not for Fabianski's heroic save, wow, what a match! Eh? I think great
Yeah. Yeah.
match for
What a
the
match.
Eagles. Yeah, what were your thoughts on the game? Huh?
I mean, I think few things. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can speak about this game. I think West Ham very clinical. Jared Bowen, I think, is some player. I think he's going to be snapped up by a top six, top four team, if not in the summer next season. I mean, after next season. I think West Ham had a game plan and
Yeah.
they almost executed it to perfection. Of course, they came away with a point. So that's of course a good thing because then their Europa League hopes now are ignited again, right? And they came with a game plan, set up shop, and hit on the counter. Mikel Antonio to cause all sorts of problems, which he did. Fernandinho could not deal with him at certain times. And of course, Bowen wrapping up with the two goals. So West Ham, if I may speak about them first, right? I think Moisey came in and Moisey did some damage, I would think, to Guardiola. I think he
Mm-hmm.
had the setup really correctly well. I wouldn't fault it. I also think, and here's another thing which I could have garnered from this game because whenever we talk about English players, they are always hyped up with the media. Media hypes them up as the next big thing, next big this, next big blah blah.
Yeah.
But I think I am Declan Rice fan. I think I've been watching him for a bit, but I think that he is a player. I would say that. I of course I'm not a big fan of this overinflated prices, but I think this guy might have what it takes to move on to the next step, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever that might be. I think he played a very good game. I thought he managed to keep lots of the key City players quiet, Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne mainly. But if I talk about City, oh man, I mean, we were speaking about this, and I had this feeling where West Ham is going to be a great bump ahead of them. I thought Wolves would have been also, but Wolves, they were very dominant. City were very dominant. Wolves also gave them space, so that's of course worth mentioning. But with this West Ham game, I thought at times they were a little bit too intricate. They could have been a little bit more route one and they could have been a little bit more direct into play instead of recycle, recycle, recycle. I know that's the Pep style, but that's my fault. I didn't think in particular any one of them had a bad game. In fact, I think the 2-2 really shows the testament of this never die attitude. I thought maybe if we are really going to be picking out anybody for that matter, I thought Perhaps Zinchenko didn't quite mark the West Ham players as good as he could. I thought maybe Cancelo at right back just looks a bit off. I think Kyle Walker is a huge miss for them. Lah.
Right.
That's as I would say it's a huge miss for them. Um, Grealish tried. De Bruyne didn't have his excellent game as per usual.
Hmm.
Gabriel Jesus tried. I do think
Yeah.
it would have been a penalty in the first half.
Yeah, that's
That's
why
my
I wanted to ask you, Al. Like, you see, Pep ended up having to bring Mahrez on in the second half to try and change the game. Do you think
mm,
it was because um, Jesus was not really getting much chances in the game, and Pep didn't feel probably that Jesus would get the goals. That's why he brought on Mahrez as an
yeah,
extra threat. Because you see, Jesus has been playing well. Don't get me wrong for the past few games, but it was just one of those games yesterday where he couldn't. He just couldn't get in
mm,
the right positions. He just couldn't
yeah.
find enough space for himself or take any quick chances. And you think that's what City is missing? Do you think that's what Haaland will give them next season? You see, not having to rely on maybe having to bring on Riyad Mahrez and everything to change the game, maybe more to see off the game and end the game well. Do you think that is
Mm.
something that Erling Haaland will bring next season? And do you think that's something that City is missing? Maybe that striker there to get those goals in games like this when they need the goals.
So definitely, I think what Haaland is going to be bringing theoretically is that he's going to be bringing somebody who's going to be in the box. Like if you know some parts yesterday, I realized they were chasing the not really chasing the game. They were 2-2, but they had to win the game, right? I mean that
Yeah.
that was their objective, and there were like two people in the box, and waiting to play intricate football, sort of like Arsenal, yeah, mid 2000s, sorry, late 2000s, early 2010 sort of football, and that's again that had me thinking as well. If Haaland was a City player already, I think you're going to have that extra presence in the box, which yesterday it just showed that they did not. I think mainly City don't play with a striker, you see, and now next season they've got to be playing with a striker, and
Yeah.
again we don't know how
Hopefully
that is
Pep
going to
doesn't
go.
play him on the right wing, man.
Yeah, exactly, because that can pose its own problems as its own, but we don't want to
Yeah.
get into that, you see. But you see, Gabriel Jesus has been playing well before this, but he's been playing on the wing, you see.
Mhm.
So I don't know whether I don't want to say that he's overthinking because he's been hit with injuries. I think Sterling's been injured. Diaz been injured. Then of course you've been having Kyle
Kyle
Walker's been
Walker as well.
injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really key players in his team. I always feel Sterling tries in being that last man runner in the box and the link up play with the wingers in the box and would have really fared well in a game like this. In my opinion. But at the end of the day, it's still in their hands, isn't it? It's still in their hands, no matter what Liverpool does now, right? And poetic Premier League is back in action because the last game is against Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa. So,
Can
script
Steven
writers,
Gerrard be the hero, and ensure
yeah, can,
Liverpool the title on the last day?
can Steven Gerrard finally win a Premier League for Liverpool, right? That's the narrative, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but then again, it's all in their hands. I still think firmly City are favorites, maybe not by much, you know.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. Again, I want to say that I really praise Pep for not going to Route One football because in direct measures like this we see people playing with Route One football. We've seen it with Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea. You can't get a goal, just long ball, hoof ball, whatever. But City didn't do that yesterday. So one end you can say, oh, well done for sticking to your principles, but I didn't. I thought it was brave for them for getting it to a 2-2, stuff of champions, but they could have won the game. That's my feeling. That's my objective, neutral feeling about it. I think if City were to have been, a little bit more in the box, 3-4 players in the box, it could have been better. But again, it's in their hands. And it all now falls to the final day of the season. And again, let's not forget, Liverpool have got to go to Southampton. So
Yeah.
if the game is tied at 0-0 and James Ward-Prowse gets a free kick at the 90th minute, that could change a lot of things. But I think Liverpool would beat Southampton, of course, and I think it will be a
Right.
final day
Go
cracker
down to the wire.
repeat
Yep. Yep.
on the
So
way.
basically, just to give you all some perspective here, City win the game on that last game basically against Aston Villa on the last day. They win the title. If Aston Villa can get a result, um,
Mhm.
it Liverpool could come back. Obviously, but they have to win at Southampton and to win at Wolves. So it's very much in City's hands, and I think um, they'll be looking to end that season at least with the league there. Al, before we end, some predictions here. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to put you on the spot here, man.
Mm.
Top four. Who gets top four? Spurs or Arsenal?
Okay. I say Spurs because I say Arsenal to bottle it at Goodison.
Right. They're gonna. Right. Right. No, I think the last game Al is at the Emirates. Al.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay. Well, bottle it against Everton. I think it's going to be a draw
Right.
against
Right.
Everton.
Right. All right.
I think it's going to be Spurs. Spurs were lucky during the weekend. I don't think that was a penalty, but
Right.
Spurs were lucky to win, in my opinion. But I think Spurs, because of the North London derby win, might edge it. Arsenal are playing tomorrow, is it? Arsenal playing today, right?
Yeah,
Arsenal,
Arsenal playing today.
yeah,
They're playing Newcastle today, so they've got to get a result at Newcastle. If they don't,
yeah,
it looks like Spurs. So Al is going for Spurs, basically. Interesting on
yeah.
there. All right. In terms of relegation, who's going to go down? Burnley, Leeds, or
Oh,
Everton?
this
Since
is
you said Everton's going to win on the last day, right? So it's either between Burnley or Leeds, isn't it? Because if Everton lose on the last day, then there's a possibility that something could happen, obviously. So what do you think?
honestly, this is much more tougher than the title race talk, man. This is like every week they just
Yeah,
go
man,
like a yo-yo.
exactly.
Um, I think Everton is going to do enough just to stay up, and I think it's going to be Burnley Leeds to go down, which is sad because I don't want to see Leeds go down.
Right,
Not that I have any disrespect towards Burnley, but I think Premier League wise, we associate the Premier League with the inception of Leeds, and they just came up, and they just came up. So, but I think Leeds don't have enough to stay up. And I think Everton just has that extra, just little bit more Richarlison, Calvert Lewin influence in the front to just get them that little bit ahead than say Burnley and Leeds, which I think is going to be my relegation
right.
selection
Either between Burnley
together
and
with
Leeds.
what.
Interesting, interesting. So that's all our reviews for today. So we will end the season as well with some reaction videos and some chats about how the season went by and probably a preview for the Champions League final as well. So if you enjoyed that, please do like the video, subscribe, and comment so that we can hear some of your thoughts as well. That's all from us today. Take care. Bye.
All right, guys. Ciao. Take care.
Ciao.